You bump into someone and immediately say sorry even though they walked into you. That habit might be costing you more than you think. So what can you actually do to stop apologizing for things that aren't your fault?
How can you stop apologizing for small things?
Yes. Well, the most efficient starting point is to ask yourself a very simple diagnostic question before you speak. Did I actually cause harm? Did I break an agreement? Did I create extra work for someone? Yes. Well, if the answer to all of those is no, then an apology is, analytically speaking, entirely unwarranted. What you need instead is a functional replacement. Something like thanks for waiting rather than sorry for making you wait, or excuse me when you simply need someone to move. Now, the rather clever thing to do, and I do recommend this, is to actually track your most common sorry moments over a few days. Notice the patterns. Then rehearse one clear alternative phrase for each situation until it becomes, second nature. Put simply, if no harm was done, there is nothing to apologize for.
How can you stop apologizing for small things?
Okay, so the thing is, a lot of those apologies are kind of protecting you, right? Like, you say sorry before anyone even has a chance to get annoyed, and then, I don't know, you feel safer somehow. So if you just stop cold turkey, that can feel really uncomfortable, and I think that's actually okay to admit. The trick is to start really small, like low stakes situations first. Someone walks past you, you don't say sorry, and then you just sit with how that feels. Don't rush to fix it. You don't have to go silent or cold either because, that's a whole other problem. You can still use a calm voice, still be respectful in how you word things, just without the self-blame part. That part you can drop, I think. Yeah, start small and build up from there.
The pattern is predictable. There is a trigger, then then a feeling of relief. That is the loop. To change it, you need to interrupt it at a specific point. I recommend inserting a one-breath pause before you respond. That pause creates enough space to make a different choice. Then, you need a replacement phrase that you have already decided in advance. Something like, got it, or one moment, or I will be right with you. You select it beforehand so you do not have to think under pressure. The important part is rehearsal. You need to repeat the new phrase enough times that it becomes as automatic as the old one. It will not feel natural immediately. That is expected. Habits require repetition before they become stable. Do not interpret the discomfort as failure. It is simply part of the process.
How can you stop apologizing for small things?
Oh, baby, listen to me. You are allowed to just say what you mean. That is it. That is the whole thing. I'm running 5 minutes late. I don't agree with that. I need some help here. You can say all of that without apologizing for existing, sweetheart. Now, I know some folks think that if you drop the sorry, suddenly you sound cold or rude or like you don't care about people. Honey, no. Warmth is not about apologizing. Warmth is in how you say it, the tone you bring, the appreciation you show. You can say, I really value your time instead of, I'm so sorry for wasting it, and that lands so much better. Being direct ain't the same as being harsh. You can be real and still be kind. You just gotta stop shrinking yourself every time you open your mouth.
Oh, sweetheart, here's the thing we sometimes forget. Staying connected with people doesn't have to mean constantly taking the blame. There are so many little phrases that show we care without making it about fault. Something like, thanks for your patience, or I really appreciate you, or even just, are we okay? Those phrases still honor the other person. They still say, I see you and I value you, but they don't put you at the bottom of every interaction. And when we do actually need to apologize, making it specific and brief is what makes it feel real. If we're saying sorry every few minutes, dear, it stops meaning anything. We want our apologies to actually land, to actually matter. You can absolutely stay warm and considerate and still stop carrying blame that was never yours to carry.
How can you stop apologizing for small things?
My child. A word repeated too often loses its weight. It becomes sound without meaning, and the people who hear it stop feeling its sincerity. When we learn to keep the kindness but release the self-blame, something shifts. We find a small pause before we speak. We find a phrase that still holds warmth but does not fold inward. At first it feels strange because the old pattern kept us feeling safe, kept us feeling connected, and stepping away from it can feel like stepping onto uncertain ground. That is natural. Any new way of moving through the world takes time before it feels like your own. But with patience, the apologies that remain will carry real weight, and the relationships built around them will not need you to make yourself smaller to survive. What was once a reflex becomes a choice, and that is where confidence quietly begins.
If you made it this far, you're gonna want to see what comes next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video, and click the video on screen now to keep learning more. See you in the next video.